You are partly correct, but we are actually celebrating Mahavir Janam Kalyanak. Jayanti is for mortals like Gandhi Jayanti and Ambedkar Jayanti. Janam Kalyanak is for immortals like Mahavir Janam Kalyanak. By the way, did you know that Gandhi's non-violent actions were inspired by Jainism?
I don't know.
Well, it's a good thing you found out. Now I'm going to hand it over to Viran to talk about the life of Mahavir Swami.
Very nice.
Mahavir, also known as Bardhaman, was the 24th year monk of Jainism. Mahavir was born in the early part of the 6th century BCE into a royal Jain family in Bihar, India. His birthday is celebrated as Mahavir Jayanti. Mahavir Jayanti falls in the last month of March and early April according to the English calendar. His mother's name was Trisha and his father's name was Siddhartha. Mahavir abandoned all worldly possessions at the age of about 30 and left home in pursuit of spiritual awakening. Mahavir practiced intense meditation and severe austerities for 12 and a half years, after which he attained Keval Gnan. He taught people to follow the path of truth and non-violence throughout their life and advised them to live together with love and strongly condemned animal sacrifice, caste discrimination, etc. The teachings given by Mahavir Swami became the main Panchil principle of Jainism. These principles include truth, apahigraha, asteya, nonviolence, and brahmacharya. Mahavir Swamiji, through his teaching, has told people the mantra to achieve success in their life. Some of the inspirational and precious statements of Mahavir Swamiji are as follows. Man should stick to the live and let live message. No one should be hurt. Everyone's life is precious to them. Winning over yourself is better than winning over millions of enemies. Have pity, for all hatred leads to apocalypse. The soul is immortal, which comes alone and goes alone. No one supports it nor makes any friend. Anger always leads to more anger, whereas forgiveness and love always leads to more forgiveness and love.
Very nice.
Now I would like Vihan to talk. Now I would ask Vihan to talk more about Jainism.
Thank you, Viran. Wow, I didn't realize that Mahavir Swamiji was born more than 2,600 years ago. That's interesting. Okay, now I want to talk a little bit about Jainism practices and science. Did you know that plants have life, Viran?
No, I don't know.
Now it's a good thing that you found out. In 1901, Jagdish Chandra Bose proved that plants and trees have life like other creatures. But Jains have known this for more than 2,500 years. I mean, they thought this was true, but it was proved in 1901. So now I would like to talk about why Jains boil water. Do you know why, Viransh?
No.
Good, because you're about to find out. We boil water to purify water from some microorganisms that live in the water. Anton van Leeuwenhoek is known as the father of microbiology. He discovered bacteria and microorganisms in a drop of water through a microscope. Now we're going to talk about intermittent fasting. Do you know what intermittent fasting is, Viran?
No.
Good, because you're about to find out. Does anyone here do intermittent fasting?
Ketan uncle does. Only one person.
Tell us why.
Why?
We do intermittent fasting to rest our digestive system because it constantly works when we eat. There are three main kinds: Ambil, Ekashnu and Beashnu. Ambil is where you can only have food without oil, sugar, salt or other taste enhancements. Ekashnu is where you can only have one meal after sunset after sunrise but before sunset. Beashnu is where you can have 2 meals after sunrise but before sunset. In Gujarati, ek means two. Be means two, as in the number of meals you get in Beashnu, and ek means one, as in the number of meals you get in Ekashnu. Another Jainism practice we're going to talk about is why don't Jains eat root vegetables like onions, potatoes, and garlic? Do you know, Viran?
No, I don't know.
You're about to find out. Because root vegetables don't get direct sunlight because they're under the ground. So they're not as nutritious. And uprooting them injures and disturbs microorganisms. Now we're going to talk about cosmology. So, in Jainism, who created the universe? Jains believe that science created the universe with atmospheric forces, unlike other religions. It believes that the universe is broad at the top, narrow in the middle, and broad at the bottom again. This is the broad part at the top, the narrow part at the middle, and the broad part at the bottom.
Very good. Excellent.
So, today we've talked about the life of Mahavir Swami, why Jains boil water, intermittent fasting, Ambele, Kashnu and Beashnu, why Jains avoid eating root vegetables, and cosmology. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Next year we'll have a presentation on cosmology and just on cosmology. Jai Hind. Bye.